Welcome to our podcast. I'm Dad's ex,
And I'm the next.
and it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a while because, well, it's really your family's fault.
Excuse
You're
me.
part of our family's fault.
You were sick first.
Yeah, but you were sick longer, and then y'all got pink eye.
Yeah, that is true.
And my family has been fine.
Yeah, that is true. Because
ever since the first week.
Let's go through timeline of events.
Yeah, so sorry that we have been we ghosted y'all
But
for
essentially,
a hot minute.
But we kind of had to.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't want to get sick.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Or give pink eye to my family, which I'm risking mine and my family's eyes by being here even now.
We're not contagious anymore. I didn't even get it, thankfully. But yeah, because it started with you guys, because you got like a nasty sinus cold, head cold thing.
Yeah.
And then I got it. But then
You're
mine
welcome.
escalated hella because it turned into an ear infection. And
She
then
didn't have a voice.
My eardrum ruptured. And then because of that, I got laryngitis for like a week and a half.
It was a hot minute.
It was a hot minute. And then we were like, cool, everything's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
And then my daughter came home with pink eye.
Yeah.
Which then led to my son getting pink eye. Which then led to my husband getting pink eye. And then he got it again.
Yeah.
So our theory is that he got the bacterial pink eye from Caden, but then it like turned into the viral pink eye because like medication wasn't working, and he's had it for like a solid, it's like 2 weeks now. I feel like we're going on
to the second week.
Yeah, week 2. And all through that, I have not gotten it.
She keeps bragging about not getting it, that now she's destined to get it.
And my husband's flipping me off in the corner over here.
And I keep telling her to stop jinxing herself because she's going to get it.
I'm just knocking on a lot of wood.
Oh,
delete.
Oh, fuck, I couldn't think of the word.
You missed the wink into the camera, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I just hit my mic really hard. I'm sorry. Delete.
So this is actually also like the first time we've been together.
In weeks.
Yeah.
There's been like little meetups
my
here
house
and there.
had an emergency Friday.
Yeah.
I discovered lice on my boys' heads.
Yeah.
And it was so sad too. It was really tragic, and I thought I was gonna cry.
I'm surprised you didn't, actually, to be honest.
You know, people keep bringing it up, and the more people bring it up, I just want to punch someone. But my son Lincoln,
I'm just gonna sit over here.
He's my 1-year-old, and he had the cutest fucking curls.
And he would have one that would curl like right up here.
A little curl. And like it was just like so cute in the back, and like it was cute. Like his hair was getting longer. Nick hated it. Like Nick does not like long hair on boys at all. Like once it touches their ears, he's like, they need a haircut. And like once his hair starts touching his ears, he's like, I need a haircut.
Yeah, he is very particular about hair.
So he hated Lincoln's hair and constantly was like, Lincoln needs a haircut, Lincoln needs a haircut. And I was like, no, because I know that as soon as I cut his curls, he's not gonna have curls anymore. And I think they're so cute, and I want them to last like as long as we can get them to last. And so Friday I went to like comb his hair because after he sleeps it's like all frizzy, and I was like, what the hell is in your head? Discovered lice. Looked in Baker's head, discovered lice. Jesse had already left, but while I was at work that night, when he came home, Nick looked at his head. He had lice too. So what I'm thinking is he got it at school because Jesse wears hats. Like he's very much a hat kid. And like we've always told him, do not share your hats, do not wear other people's hats because that's how you get lice.
Yep.
But kids are fucking assholes and steal his hat all the time and will take off with it. And it sucks because like hats are also just really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And like I buy him nice things. Like we go to Lids and buy him. It's not like I purchase him like knockoff hats or what.
Yeah.
Like I buy him nice hats. And so it's like I've invested money into like his hat collection his little hat collection that he has, and these kids will take them. So I worry about them like ruining them, but also they're putting them on their nasty heads. And Jesse got lice. And I'm sure that that's how it got to the rest of the boys. Luckily, I'm good. I made Jess check my head. I made Nick check my head. I checked Nick's head. He was fine. So all three boys' heads had to get shaved. I like texted her as soon as I found it, and I was like, "Son of a bitch! Like the boys have lice, and I don't have like lice treatments just prepared at my house, but she does." So she immediately rushed over and like helped me with the girls while I got the boys in the bath and like did a treatment on their head. But there was just no way that we were going to avoid shaving their heads. Like we
Yeah. It was
really,
like a full on like
and
infestation.
like Lincoln had it the worst. Like
Yeah.
he had it so bad. And we tried to save his hair and make it so that we didn't have to shave his head, but there was just
It was just too much.
yeah, like Baker's head, I didn't care about shaving his head. He's had a haircut before, whatever, you know. But Lincoln's hair was tragic. And even after we shaved his head, he still had like nits all over his head, and I had to sit there with like that fine tooth little lice comb thing that Jess brought over to actually get everything off of his head and out. And so yeah, now I have three bald
little babies.
Three bald little boys. So
yeah, that's awful.
yeah, and like Jesse hates his head shaved, and so he's even more mad now because we're like, ah, don't wear hats. Like, do not wear hats right now. Like, we had to put all of them in Ziploc bags. We've been doing laundry galore at our house. We did all the bedding. I threw away the boys' pillows. Jess went and picked up my Target pickup order to get them their new pillows. Like,
yeah, it just sucks because lice is just like it's such a. It's not like a one and done thing. Like you have to go through and do all of the bedding, the stuffed animals, the hats.
So all of the stuffed animals are currently suffocating in garbage bags right now. Jesse's hats are all in Ziploc bags being suffocated.
Brutal. But then there's like
Lincoln's curls.
There's been other developments too that have happened since our last episode, in which we're both employed now.
Yes, I got a job.
Yay! Yay! I've been working like I got a job while we were doing our
told
episodes.
The bra story.
Oh yeah, the crazy bra story. There's been a lot of bra stories. Women in your bras, calm the fuck down. I like seriously. But I've been working like a lot more hours than what I like originally anticipated, so it's been kind of like
she was literally employed to work 10 hours a week at most.
At most. Like it was they apologized because they're like, that's all we have. And then last week I worked 5 days. The week before I worked 4 days. Thankfully these like next couple of weeks I'm only working like 2 or 3 days, which is nice because like we have Easter, we have spring break coming up, we have birthdays coming up.
Today is Easter, so we're done with that. But
well, that is true. But
yeah, whereas like I'm working full time. I just got done with training last night. I have tonight off, and then I'm working tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. The new shift starts.
Yeah, so I'm starting my new shift. So I'm gonna be a zombie. Like I'm just, I'm never gonna sleep, and it's gonna be wonderful. Because I'll be working 7 p.m. to 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And then Nick has to leave for work at like 7:50. So it's like at most I'll be getting 4 hours of sleep, which I'm trying to just tell myself that that's the amount of sleep I got when all the babies were newborns and waking up throughout the night.
Yeah. And I mean, you survived it then, but it just sucks because it's like it's what you have to do though, because childcare is just so astronomically expensive.
And then on top of that, like we have 2 infants under 1, and there's like it's hard to just find somewhere that takes infants under 1, but let alone 2.
Right. It
has room for 2.
Oh yeah. The waiting lists, I'm sure, are awful.
And being able to find a daycare that has room for all 4 of my like kids that need to be in daycare is just
because you need room for a 3, a 1-year-old, and then
2 infants. 2 6-month-olds.
Yeah.
That's impossible. And I don't want to split them up and have to like run all over the place. Like we'd qualify because we have so many freaking kids. Like we'd qualify for state assistance to where like I could work a day job and get help with daycare, but it's like it would just be a lot.
Yeah.
And daycares freak me out. I don't trust them. There's so many horror stories.
Yeah.
I refused to put Jesse in a daycare until he was old enough to like form a sentence and tell me if something happened. Because I just don't trust daycares. Like, I don't trust them with my kids. My kids are too precious to me. I don't need them finding some spot that has a bunch of fentanyl and my kid overdoses. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like fentanyl is a huge problem here.
Massive.
Yeah.
It's like unfortunate that it's like that has to be a concern with daycares, but it's like we have had
There was a daycare in
5-year-olds.
Washington that did have like in like a floorboard there was fentanyl under
Yeah.
it. So
We've
it's
had
a very valid concern, which is
5-year-olds overdose on fentanyl, and it's just like it's such an epidemic here. It's fucking awful.
Yeah. So I also just don't trust daycare. So it's like, gotta do what you gotta do. Like, it's so
Yeah.
expensive. We can't just have one income, especially just like for our lifestyle, I guess. Like, I am not content, like, not being able to take my kids on experiences. And I know that not all experiences like cost money, but
Oh yeah.
it'd still be nice to, if they're like, can we go get ice cream?
Yeah.
That I don't have to be like, sorry, can't afford it, not in the budget to go get ice cream or whatever, So it's like, I want to be able to have some like extra cushion money to like do things with my kids.
Yeah. And
or be able to do things like even just the Easter we just had. Like, I have a lot of fucking kids, okay? Like,
little holidays like this get expensive when you have a lot of kids.
Loan out for this shit. Nick calls it Christmas too because he's like, since when did Easter turn into Christmas too? But he also, like, we don't do a lot of candy at our house, which we kind of touched on.
Yeah.
And honestly, when it's in the house, I just end up eating a lot of it. So there's that too. But even Nick is like, I don't get a bunch of candy for the kids' Easter baskets, and I'm like, well then, what else am I gonna put in there? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend my money on filler things that all these like tiny little toys that Baker's gonna break in 0.2 fucking seconds, or shit they don't care about. So it's like, I'm gonna get them things because also, like I've said before, I don't buy them things throughout the year. Like, I don't buy them toys. I don't, like, they get stuff Christmas, their birthday, and like in their Easter baskets. And I also don't like, I hate baskets. Hate baskets because they just become a nuisance in my fucking house. I hate baskets. So we did chairs.
Which was actually a really cute idea.
It
turned out really good.
And it's like something that they needed, or like at least can use. Like, it's useful. Baskets aren't fucking useful. They're just annoying. I'm sorry,
I feel like
they are.
Baskets very strongly did something to you as a child that you're now just like, fuck baskets.
No, we just like, it's Jesse. It's his fault because he's a hoarder of a child. He hoards things. And so every Easter basket he's ever got in the past, he's always like, well, I need to hold on to it because I can put this collection of things in it. And so he would just have so many baskets. And if it broke, he's like, well, I'm not getting rid of it. And I'm like, so it's like, I'd have to like go into his room when he was
it's like
at school.
It's like the container thing. It's like, oh, that's a nice container. Yeah. Or it's like my iPhone box. I have 3 of them, but they're all really nice boxes, and maybe like one day I'll use them for something. So
okay,
I hold on to them.
It's fucking weirdo.
There will be people out there who will relate. They're nice boxes. You can't get rid of them.
You can. You're never gonna use it.
I'll find a use for them one day.
Okay. You need to set. So here's my thing. Like, oh, hold on. Before I move on to that, baskets. So I didn't do baskets. I did chairs.
Oh yes,
I did chairs. So, but not like chairs for inside because they all have a beanbag chair. Jesse has a gaming chair. Not inside chairs because they just got chairs for Christmas.
You did like camping.
I did camping chairs for outside because I correlate Easter with spring.
Yeah.
And
you're like turning the leaf into like a new season.
For me, it's like Easter is like stepping into spring. Spring is here. And so I did like camping chairs for them. Obviously, I didn't get camping chairs for my for the girls, for the twins, they got sit me up seats.
Yeah.
Because they needed them anyways. So they got those. And the boys loved them. I have like the cutest picture of Lincoln sitting. I had to get Lincoln and Baker the same exact ones. Otherwise,
they would fight and argue.
No, Baker would have a fucking field day and think that both of the chairs were his because everything is Baker's because that's the stage we're in right now.
3. It's great.
Yeah.
Great age.
And then Jesse just got like a basic ass Coleman chair.
He got like the grown up camping chair.
Well, like I looked at Seahawks ones.
Oh,
fuck that! I'm not spending $60 to fucking $80 on a goddamn
just
chair
for someone
for your
to spray paint, spray paint the Seahawks logo onto it.
Yeah, no,
absolutely not.
And he all of them are terrible about just leaving their shit outside. So it's like it's gonna get rained on. It's gonna get no. Use
that Cricut to like put a decal and slap it on there.
That's like on a red chair.
Oh yeah,
it's red. So
it'll be
the Chiefs,
a weird ass looking cardinal or something.
Something I don't know. He loves football, so I could literally put any red team on there. But yeah, so I did chairs, and it was. You see all these like Pinterest about like the what that go on your feet, rain boots.
I don't know.
It was not that funny.
I'm like deliriously tired.
I'm really tired too. I worked until 11 last night, got off work, went home, and then had to do. Nick was sleeping.
I'm leaving that in.
And that's fine. And so then I had to come home. All of the birthday, Easter.
What holiday?
Stuff was still all in like Amazon boxes. The girls sit me up chairs weren't put together, so it's like I had to do all of that.
Oh my god!
We didn't decorate Easter eggs because I failed. Okay, so I bought like pre-filled eggs, and then I also just got like empty eggs that I put change, and then I put like some like dollar bills in some of them too. And so I had to hide all the fucking eggs. And then literally as soon as I got done, Nick's ass fucking wakes. I'm in the living room, taking pictures. Easter Bunny came, yay.
Woo.
And I hear our Hershey's covered pretzel bag opening. And Nick's fucking ass wakes up and starts eating pretzels as soon as I got done. So I came in and I was like, yeah, real fucking cool that you decided to wake up when I finish all the Easter things. Thanks for your goddamn help.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so, and then she decides to Marco me back. So what I've been doing on my drives home is I Marco her after work and I vent about the horrible people at my job.
And if I'm awake at 11, I'm usually like pretty good
she's
about
never
like
awake at 11. She's sleeping because she's an asshole. Wow. And so
okay,
I'll get a Marco response back in the morning. And so she's on my drive home. Once I get home, I'm like, okay, I'm home. Thanks for hanging out with me, but fuck you for sleeping.
Accurate.
And so then at 1 a.m, she Marcos me back last night. And she's like, well, you're probably sleeping, but and then I Marco her back, and I'm like, yep, not sleeping.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that she Marcoed me back because I just figured she would watch it in the morning, but my son decided that he had an ankle emergency
at 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. Our guess, our hypothesis is that the stairs got moved from his bed, so he went to like jump out of his bed thinking that the stairs were there, but they weren't, and then like landed too hard on his feet, and so it like hurt his ankle. Because it was like meltdown. It took me like 20 minutes to soothe him to get him back into bed, but then at that point it's like, cool, I'm awake.
Yeah, she's like, I'm so awake right now, and I'm like in bed, just
like, literally had like the covers like cocooned around her face. I'm so tired. Yeah. It was pretty good.
I was so tired.
Yeah, but it was like, so that was like the same thing, setting up all of the Easter stuff, then Kaden doing that, and then Kaden waking up, well, because I had already set up Easter stuff. So when Kaden woke up at 1 a.m., he saw the stuffed animals that we had gotten with the baskets. So that turned into a whole nother thing of,
I want my
stuffed animal. I want Sissy's stuffed animal. No, you can't have Sissy's. That's for her. Put it back. Well, the little shit remembered. 6 o'clock this morning comes waltzing in. Mom, the sun's out. Can I give Sissy her stuffed animal now?
That's so funny. The sun's out. That's what, the sun's awake now.
Right.
That's what Baker does.
Like,
the sun's up, Mom.
go the fuck
Get
back to sleep. Because at this point, it's like I've maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 hours. And I'm like, if she's awake, fine, fuck it. I don't care. Go knock on the door and give her her goddamn stuffed animal. I do not care.
And see, Baker woke up. I don't know what time Baker woke up at because all of a sudden he was just in my bed sleeping, thankfully. And so we have a long hallway. Ours and Baker and Lincoln's room are right next to each other. And so when Baker wakes up, he luckily just like goes straight into our room. And I don't know what time he got up at, but he just crawled right into our bed and fell asleep. And I like woke up because I was like, what the fuck is this next to me? And then I was like, oh, it's my child's leg. That's cool. Cool. But then like once he did wake up at like 7 on the fucking dot, he's like, Mom, sun's up. And he's like, I go out. He wanted to go out. Oh, he's like, I go get my tablet. And I was like, your tablet's right there on my nightstand.
Like don't do it. Don't do it.
To the living room. But then it was like trying to keep him out of the living room because we wanted to wait until at least Lincoln was up. Like Jesse's 11. He knows.
Yeah.
Like this was totally just, and he even knew, he even asked like, can I just find a couple of eggs?
Yeah.
Because they were very much hidden for Baker and Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
I did hide one in his bathroom because it had a $5 bill in it. And I was like,
oh, that was cool.
I'll give this to you.
See, that's so funny because I did the same exact thing here where it's like I put a lot of them at like Caden height. And I even told Carly, like, if they're too low and you have to bend over to pick them up, leave them there for Caden. But I put one on the top of our like, we have like a coat closet thing here that I put it up on top. It was a pink bunny just for her because I knew she'd be the only one to reach it. That's great minds think alike.
Yeah. And he helped Lincoln. Like Lincoln didn't give a shit about finding them. He just wanted to throw them. So like once Baker would find them and he'd come and put them on the couch, Lincoln would just play with the ones on the couch and then like throw them. And I was like, cool, some of those have change in them.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like he didn't care. We did wake him up. Like once Lincoln did wake up, Nick took Baker into the bedroom. We got the boys like changed, and then we woke Jesse up and was just like, hey, if you want to come out here now, now's the time. So then he came out and, they went through their Easter chairs and then ran around and found Easter eggs and yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're like very tired.
Yeah, because then I took a little nap. I like showered, started laundry, everything, and then I took like an hour-long nap.
Damn.
I needed it.
Yeah.
And then we got all ready, went to my aunt and uncle, got all the kids Easter baskets, and they had a birthday present for Jesse from his birthday last weekend. And so we went over there, got the kids got their Easter baskets from them. And then we went to my in-laws' house where they had a big Easter egg hunt outside for the kids. Baker and Lincoln got a head start, but again, Lincoln could care less.
Yeah.
And then once the big kids were loose, it was done. They hid like 100 eggs.
Damn.
And it took the kids like, I think we were out like 5 minutes.
Damn.
Oh, they were just like.
Well, was it all the grandkids? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Just just all these kids running around trying to find eggs. Damn.
Yeah, so they were just all over the place. And then like of course where Baker started was like on like one end. Like he went to this one spot and then went the opposite way of like everything, and he was getting all of those eggs. But then once we let all the older kids loose, they just went and picked up all the ones that Baker was going for. I was like, you assholes. God. And then went and, everywhere.
Clean sweep.
Oh, yeah. But they had a blast. Baker did get a lot of eggs. And it was candy and change. So it's like, they don't need more candy.
Yeah, they're fine.
And that was all when Nick was going through the eggs with Baker. If it was one that only had change in it, no candy, Baker goes, no candy, another egg. Like,
try again.
Did not care about the change. He's just like, I like candy. Oh.
That's where so at my mom's house, very similar situation as we did our thing here, then went to my mom's house for Easter. So she also did eggs filled with candy and stuff, threw them out in the yard, and she did like 50 for the two of them. Well, my brother hid them, and my brother kind of a sarcastic asshole. So like some of those hiding spots were like pretty fucked. But the deal was after we were going through them, it's like you can have one piece of candy. So like go through your eggs, pick your candy, you can have that. Well, Caden was so impatient that he didn't hear that part. Like he picked his piece of candy before I even like said you're getting one. So eats his piece of chocolate, done deal. Comes back around to me asking me for jelly beans. I was like, well, no, dude, like you got one piece of candy. The chocolate was actually like really yucky though. So can I like try to be like it was so gross. Can I please have another
Oh my
candy?
gosh.
Like
My kids
you
had
have
so
got to be
much
kidding
sugar
me.
today.
Oh, yeah.
They had so much because
I mean, doing it at your house and then your aunt and uncle's and then Tony and Sheila's.
yeah,
Like,
we didn't give them any candy at our house. I don't think. Maybe Nick gave Baker a Starburst. I don't remember.
yeah.
But then at my aunt and uncle's, like their baskets had candy and Peeps in them. So like,
Oh, those are just pure sugar.
right. And I was surprised because Nick is actually, I feel like sometimes more like than I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I guess it just depends on
Situation.
yeah. And he let Lincoln and Baker each have two Peeps. And and pieces of candy.
I can't even have two Peeps.
Yeah.
Like that is like I get sick to my stomach because
Yeah.
those are just like stick an IV in at that rate and just
I just don't even like Peeps. And then
you can taste how artificial they
yeah,
are.
don't you like Peeps?
I'm very specific about the Peeps that I like. I like the chocolate covered Peeps.
Okay. I got Jesse S'mores Peeps.
Ooh.
And I do kind of want to try that, but it's like a pack of 3, and Jesse does really like Peeps, so I'm probably not gonna try them because
but
don't
I
like
can't
Peeps.
do like regular normal because the chocolate covered kind of cuts down on the like artificial dye tasting.
Yeah.
But whereas like Peeps by themselves, like you can taste the like the food coloring.
Yeah.
It's what.
Yeah. So and then they also had like he gave them other candy at my aunt and uncle's, and then Baker wanted more, and I was like, okay, no,
Yeah,
we're done
absolutely not.
because we're going to Grandpa's house, and we know that Grandpa's gonna fill you with treats and everything, right?
Yeah.
And of course, as soon as we get there, they're like, oh, we've got a big bowl of candy because it was all the leftover candy that couldn't fit in the eggs that they hid. And I was like, see, I freaking told you.
Yep.
Plus, it was my niece's birthday today too,
Mm-hmm.
and so there,
There was a birthday cake.
there was a birthday cake and ice cream cake. So it was like we were having that too after dinner. So it was just like he had a bunch of candy. Of course, at some point after dinner, before ice cream cake, Grandpa found Oreos. So Baker's eating Oreos, and then it's ice cream cake. And so I was like, he's getting a melatonin for bedtime tonight.
Oh yeah,
he's
exhausted. He was smelling colors by the end of the night.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because and I mean, it was just such a big, long day, and he doesn't nap, so it's just like.
Yeah, both of my kids were in bed before 7:30. Like it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure my littles were all in bed too.
Oh yeah.
Jesse did pretty good when it came to the sugar. He didn't overdo it, and he actually didn't even want any cake when it was cake time. But him and Ugo also were like wanting to ride their mini bikes.
Are they stored at their house? That makes sense.
Because where are they gonna ride them?
Oh, I guess that's true.
Houses, so
up the little hill.
Yeah, up and down and up and down.
Yeah, that would get real boring real quick.
Yeah, and they don't care about them like riding them in the yard, and so Jesse and my nephew, my in-laws, got them mini bikes for Christmas, and so
they're pretty cool.
Yeah. So whenever we go, and then for their birthdays, they got them helmets and riding gloves and riding shirts.
So they're like the coolest fucking kids on the block at that point.
On their grandparents' block. Yeah. Because their grandparents also have quads and jet skis. Like,
yeah.
Grandpa and Mima got all the cool toys. Yeah, because that's what Baker calls Sheila is Mima.
Oh, that's adorable.
So all the older kids call her Sheila, but Baker and like once Lincoln talks,
I discovered today that when we go over to my mom's house, Kaden always says Grandma and Grandpa's house. Well, I always assumed Grandpa was Rob. Today I discovered
it's Travis.
It's Travis.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Because Travis, well, because he doesn't see, my brother works fast food late at night. And so usually when we go over to my mom's house, he's not there. And so Caden's always, Grandma, Grandpa, where's Grandpa? Oh, well, Grandpa's at work because we're assuming we're talking about Rob, which is like my mom's best friend. But that there's a whole.
It's a weird situation.
It's a weird situation. Regardless, that's what we always assumed. But today, Travis comes walking down the hall and Caden, Grandpa! My mom.
Need his name to be. I don't want him to be Uncle Trav anymore. Next time I see him, he's Uncle Grandpa. That is what I'm calling him.
Yes.
I don't even care how awkward it gets because it's going to be wonderful. And I'm going to groom Caden to call him Uncle Grandpa.
Uncle Grandpa. Oh,
I'm just going to find pictures of him. Uncle Grandpa. Uncle Grandpa. Good job.
Good job. Well, and it's like we tried so many times, but we had been letting him call Travis Grandpa for so long. Unknowingly. That I was like trying to teach him that this is actually.
I can't believe you didn't text me and tell me that.
I'm sorry. I should have.
Oh,
it just clicked. I totally forgot about that. But oh man,
that is so funny.
Yeah, it's funny because Caden also calls Nick Grandpa.
He called him Grandpa once. Now he calls him Nick.
Oh yeah, that is true. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
it has changed.
It was one time that he called him Grandpa, which was fucking hilarious.
Oh, it was
but
great.
Now he's Nick. We found out today that so Nick's parents are divorced and they're each remarried, and Baker calls his mom's husband Grandpa John.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, we're going to Grandpa's today because like Nick's dad, we've never called him like Grandpa Tony. It's always just been Grandpa.
Yeah.
And then his other grandpa is Grandpa John. So we're like, oh, we're going to Grandpa's today. And he goes, oh, we go to Grandpa John's house? And I was like, no, we're going to Grandpa's house. And he goes, oh, Mima's house. So we've found that Nick's dad's house is actually Mima's house, which is Nick's stepmom.
Yeah.
Baker has like named her Mima. That's her name. And then when we say we're going to Grandma's house, which is Nick's mom, that's actually Grandpa John's house. So he's picked each of the like
step parents.
Yeah.
Like that's their house.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so funny. So now, so that he knows where he's going, we have to either say Grandpa John or Mima's house.
That's amazing. I wish Caden would like get on, because right now, like the way that he differentiates the two grandparents is Grandma and Blue Grandma.
Oh, because of her blue coat?
Yeah, because that's all. Every time she comes over, she's wearing a blue coat. So
Blue Grandma.
So we have Blue Grandma. It works.
Is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Kids, man.
They're hilarious.
How did we get here? We've been talking about why we've been gone for so long.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Again, this is our first time, actually.
So we're like catching up on ourselves too. Yeah, it's fine.
No big deal.
We've
been deprived of it. We're not used to going so long.
We're really
Even
not.
Before we started doing this, like we didn't go this long without hanging out.
Yeah, it's been very.
But it's like bizarre. With them being sick, me starting work, like it just hasn't.
It's been real, and it's gonna continue to be chaotic because it's like you have soccer coming up on top of your new job. I'm going to school for a bachelor's degree. And I finished all of my pre-wets.
Oh, coffee!
No! I finished all of my pre-wets.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's, I don't know what it means, but it's funny.
It'll be funny to us later when we're not so delirious.
Yeah.
I finished all of my prerequisites. So now my classes are actually getting like really difficult. And so they're requiring more time and effort, which sucks, but
sucks for you.
Yeah, And like ideally I get a full-time job in the next like month or so. So
Yeah.
it's about to get wild and chaotic.
Yeah. Yep, because I'm working full time nights, obviously, and then I'll have all of the kids during the day. So again, zombie life, love that for me. And then Jesse starts soccer, and I'm coaching his soccer team. So practices start tomorrow. So that will be life.
Yeah.
Along with working. And it's really nice though, because with my schedule, I have Fridays and Saturdays off, which is super
That
nice
is
because then I
nice.
pretty much have Sundays off. Like I don't go to work until 7 p.m. on Sundays.
Oh, I didn't even
So
think about that.
yeah,
Yeah, so you technically have like your full
weekend,
weekend because
which
you
is
can
so
do
nice because
things
I have
all day
one.
Saturday, Sunday.
Right. And it's nice because I am glad I have one day off during the week for like doctor's appointments,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Like I know that I have a day that I can schedule all of that for. But even then, I don't start till 7 all week.
Yeah.
So I guess I could do it any day, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
it's like it's always like this weird element of like even I like I'll work 3 hour shifts and if I have to work, it's like
I don't want to do anything.
yeah. That's like the ADHD part of me. There's like that paralysis of like, oh, I'm stuck in waiting mode now because
Yeah,
I
I
have
can't do
something
anything.
right.
I saw a TikTok of that. Do you follow Tara and Barry? I think it's Barry. Yeah, Tara and Barry on TikTok.
That doesn't sound
She
familiar.
has ADHD and like and her boyfriend he'll like secretly make TikToks that's like
Oh.
him going in and asking her like, oh, do you want to go get lunch? She's like, oh, I can't, I have a doctor's appointment. He goes, yeah, but that's not till like 4. And she's like, nope,
Yep, can't do it.
can't do it.
Nope.
And then he'll be like, oh, do you want to go get coffee? I have this many hours until my doctor's appointment. And it's so funny. And
It's
I
so relatable
love
though.
watching them, and they're just so funny. Or it's like they're trying to watch a movie and
Oh.
she's like, oh, I gotta go get my soda, and comes back, oh, I gotta get my water. Oh, can you get me a snack, Bear? Can you go get me a snack? Can you go get me this?
It's so relatable.
It's so, yeah, it's hilarious. I
Because it's
love
like
it.
I think
I love
about
them.
like the time that it's like to drive and like the thing with ADHD
I'm like,
too.
time to get ready.
Right.
It takes me this amount of time to do
And
my
you
hair, this amount of time.
overestimate
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah. And it's like I'm sure I'm assuming that you do this, but it's like it takes you what 5 minutes to get to the casino, but you give yourself like 15 minutes.
I leave half an hour before because
See?
also where I have to enter, I have to walk all the way to my department,
Yeah.
and then yeah, so
It's a
I
lot.
get there by like 2:05 is like the latest that I leave, and then I'll get there by like 2:15, 2:17. But then it's like I have to walk from the parking lot in through the entrance, and then in like through the hallways I have to go through, and then
Yeah.
through the casino to get to my department.
It's like a whole process. I mean, I'm the same way because it takes me like 20 minutes to get to work. I leave an hour before I have to be at work.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, so I can't do anything that day. That's
No.
day's planned.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get a Target pickup order yesterday before work, and I was like, oh, I gotta leave at like, I gotta start getting ready. And early in the like it was like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
That's when I normally start getting ready, anyways, because I'm normally home by myself with the kids.
Yeah, so it takes even longer because you're trying
Right.
to like get ready while also managing all of your children.
Yeah, because my training schedule has been 2:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. And so that's why it's not like I start getting ready at 11 a.m. for a 7 p.m.
Oh yeah,
shift.
no,
Like,
that's your new shift that
yeah,
hasn't
that's my
started
new
yet.
shift that starts tomorrow. But
I
so
didn't even think about that. Yeah,
yeah,
good context clues.
yeah, yeah.
People would be like,
We're just
"Really?
assuming
You
that
need?"
everybody knows what's going on in my brain.
Yeah, it's
There's a lot going on in
we're struggling.
there. Yeah. So that's been us lately.
Yep. So we might have to change the schedule. We haven't figured that out yet. We still think Sundays are probably going to be good filming days, so we should be able to keep maintaining episodes on Thursdays. But like, bear with us as we kind of navigate all of these new changes in our lives. So, and hopefully we maintain March has just been trash in terms of health.
In terms of
So,
health. And then like Jesse's birthday was also in March. It was just last week on the 23rd. And then like with me starting work, I've just been so tired, not wanting to do like anything. And so I've been really like unmotivated also, but also like haven't been wanting to bring pink eye home to my family.
yeah, I don't blame her. It looks real nasty.
Yeah.
So
one thing I forgot that happened in my life this month.
Oh, are we talking about what I think we're talking about?
I got a letter.
Let's go.
From my mother.
Ah.
So this is like,
let's get ready
for this.
Wild.
Yeah. So we all know I don't talk to my mom. Can't stand her. She's psycho.
If you're watching, sup, bitch.
Yeah. Low key kind of hope. But anyways,
I feel like she has to though. With some of the things that she says in the letter, like there's just like an inkling of either she's watching them or she has somebody that she knows that watches them and like feeds her.
She wouldn't hide watching them. Like there's no reason for her to not.
Oh, I
watch
guess that's
them,
true. She
how
would
we
be.
know?
She has too much ego to like not throw that in your face and like use it against
Which
you
like I don't
somehow.
care. That's fine. She's seeing me, not my kids. So
yeah, that's true.
Anyways, yeah, I got a 15-page
typed
letter that was paid. She paid $10 to have it like rush sent to me so that she also would know when it got delivered. So I got that on what, the 20th? Yeah.
Yeah.
The 20th. Yeah. 15 pages, you guys, of just like how
visceral bullshit.
Just like how I'm a terrible person. I'm an abusive mother because I spanked Jesse a couple of times when he was little. And like I never had to do it that it was like I did it once or twice. And then all I had to do from that point on was like, do you want your butt spanked? No? Okay, then stop. And he would stop. Like,
yeah.
And it's also like not illegal to spank your kids. I know because there was a CPS case on me when he was little, and the lady was like, why am I here? Like, this is stupid.
Because your mom is psycho.
Well, my mom's not who called CPS on me, but 15 pages of how I'm just like a terrible mom. She can't wait till my kids are old enough so she can tell them how terrible of a person I am, and she's going to live long enough just to spite me so that she can tell them. And went off. I have a tattoo on the back of my shoulder that is, my dad had diabetes, and from his diabetes, because he didn't take care of it, stemmed kidney and heart disease. And so when he was still alive, I got a tattoo of the diabetes ribbon, and then there's like red and green coming off of it for kidney and heart disease. And it just says daddy on it. That's all it says. And I just need to go in and put like his like date of birth and then date of death on there.
Yeah.
To just that I just want added to it. And she like brought up my tattoo. She's like, your daddy's girl tattoo. And I was like, first off, I don't have a daddy's girl tattoo.
No.
It just says daddy.
She makes it sound like you have like a fucking tramp stamp that says daddy's girl.
Or like a mural for him or something.
Right.
Like, no. Says that I milked my dad's death and talks about how I need to get help for my depression, but I won't do that because I enjoy milking it on social media.
Meanwhile, we're like transparently talking about it like via podcast of like our journeys.
And that's all I've ever
like,
done on social, like on my Facebook and stuff too.
Yeah.
Is like I have
You're not
put it out there
anything
to be transparent with people about like what I'm going through, not for any other reason, just like
to get rid of the negative stigma that
right.
she has around mental illness.
Right.
Like,
yeah, so like
wild.
throws that in my face, talks about when I got pregnant at 15, and like tries saying that I've told her that that was on purpose, which that's like not true. And then says like, you don't have babies that you can't afford. By the way, have you and Nick figured out how babies happen? Because you guys can't afford the kids that you have. You like, maybe you guys should stop having kids, yada yada yada.
She's just salty because she hasn't met any of them since Baker, right?
She never met Baker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you guys moved into the new house with
She was still seeing Jesse when we moved into the new house, but it was right after Baker was born.
that
So Baker was
everything kind
born.
of,
Baker
yeah.
was born on the 20th of October,
Yep.
and on Halloween that year. So when he was 11 days old, and I had a C-section with him and was still recovering, she lost her marbles because she hadn't seen Jesse and was losing her shit and was like saying she was going to take me to court for grandparents' rights and sue me. And I was like, cool, see you in court. Like, you're not seeing us at all. Like, you want to threaten that?
Like, what
Let's go.
grandmother like goes out of their way to sue you for grandparent rights? Like, you have no legal authority over children.
Yeah.
Like, and that only works if they're trying to get full custody because you are an unfit parent.
Right. Yeah. So,
The
and then
audacity.
she like brings up how, so when Nick and I got engaged, at some point she told me, hope you start saving up for the divorce. So she brings that up in the letter too, and is like, I told you to save up for the divorce, not for you, but because he's going to leave you just like any other man has left you, because you're a spoiled brat, you do this, you do that, like all these things. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then says that she's going to give me a week to process the letter.
Well, here's my favorite part. Before we get to that, my favorite part in the letter is she asks.
She's read it. I took pictures of
Yeah.
every single page and sent it to her.
Yeah, that's best tea on the market. Okay. She asks, "Why do you hate me?" Sends a 15-page letter typed with all of this visceral shit, and then has the audacity to be like, "I don't understand why you hate me so
Yeah.
much." Bitch, please. Like, a mother would
And that's the
never.
thing, is I've told her plenty
Yeah.
of times. But again, nothing's ever good enough. Like, she brings up in the letter, like,
You've never told
you've
me.
never told me. All I've ever done is ask why you hate me so much. What is it in your head that I did to you? And even in the letter, she brings up how you told people I wanted to kill you, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not true. Why? Why?
Yeah.
What reason do I have to lie about that?
Yeah.
And it's such a vivid
Memory.
memory. Like, I remember what we were doing, where we were going, who I was texting.
Yeah. Like, for it to be that vividly detailed, like, that is a traumatic memory that is like burned into. You
Yeah.
wouldn't
And I don't
make
have
that up.
I don't have a great memory.
No,
Like,
neither of us
so
do.
for something to be so
Ingrained.
ingrained, like,
Mm-hmm.
I know that that happened.
Yeah, it's
Cuz that for
wild to
me
me.
is like a turning point in my relationship with her, in my
Yeah.
opinion, was like
Oh,
hearing that.
yeah.
The first one would be when I was 14 and she told me she didn't like me. She loved me because she had to, but that she didn't like me.
And the thing is, it's like you've been no contact with her for 3 years.
Yeah.
So this isn't something that's like just new and in development. Like, you've been successfully no contact. She's tried like here or there, but it's like 3 years have gone by, and now she's sending this letter. Like, what is she hoping to accomplish?
Right.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah. So then in the letter she says how looking at the things that Jesse has at her house is, and of course never says his name because she refuses to call him by
Oh
his name,
yeah.
calls him Bumpy, which just
Ugh.
he doesn't even like. He even told me at one point, Mom, I do not like that grandma calls me Bumpy. I don't like that nickname.
Yeah.
But did she care about his feelings to stop calling him that? No. But she goes, it's too hard to keep looking at his things. So I'm going to give you a week to process this letter, and then I'm going to come to your house and
Mm-hmm.
bring him his things. I'm not going to come to the door and expect to be let in, but I am going to come. There's nothing you can do to stop me, and I'm going to bring him his things. There's no reason my grandson can't have his things. And again, it's been almost 4 years at this point. Jesse was 7 last time he went to
He's
her
not
house.
gonna
He
want
just turned 11.
any
He
of
doesn't
that
want
shit.
any of that. He doesn't play with toys. He reads and plays video games.
The amount of toys that like Carly has gone from 7 to now, and she's 9, like, I know. If someone brought me a bunch of toys that Carly had when she was 7, be like, cool, thanks. Going to the dumpster or Goodwill. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. But it's been a week. And she hasn't.
It's been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. And she hasn't shown up yet.
Watch, she's going to come tomorrow.
Ooh, sorry.
But Nick, like, once we got that letter, we have security cameras that we stopped paying for like a while ago. But ever since we got that letter, he's like, nope, I am like getting our security cameras back up. I'm paying for the service again. Like, this has to happen, because he has one set up that like we can see into that coming into our driveway, and then another one set up like where we park.
Yeah.
So, and he gets notified on his phone like when there's a car, because it'll say like car, animal, person. So it's like we will know, because like because he's obviously home in the evenings with the kids now, and I'm not there, which has given me a ton of anxiety.
Like, this came at the worst time because you were just starting this job.
Yeah, and it's like it gave me so much anxiety because I don't like not being there in that situation to be able to like help it flow the way like I want it to flow.
Yeah.
Where like the little kids don't know who she is, so like if they see her, they don't know who she is. Yeah, they don't know who she is.
It's Jesse.
It's Jesse that it's like if he sees her, so many emotions. He's such an emotional kid, and so many emotionals are going to come out. I'm worried about like backlash. I'm worried about, and like my sisters have both said like you need to like just sit down and talk to him. Like, he's old enough now, because all I've ever told him is, she doesn't respect me as your mom. She makes some choices that I'm not okay with. So like, and she's not the nicest to mommy. So until like she can be nicer to me,
right,
whatever, like we can't see her. And he's always taken that. But my sisters have said like, no, you need to like explain to him like how mentally unstable she is.
Because especially like in the letter, like there's this undertone of violence, and it's like she doesn't outright threaten anything, but it's like there's those undertones of like, oh yes, I've known your address, I've known where you live. Like there's just that
so
like
scary,
terrifying, and because she's bragging about it and like throwing it in your face of like, you think you're safe, think not.
Yeah.
Like she is bragging about the fact that she has violated your privacy and has violated your boundaries.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
So
we went, so that's one of the times that we've had seen each other over the course of the month, is she came with me to the courthouse, because again, I have all of my kids all the time while Nick's at work. So she came with me to the courthouse so that I could file a no contact order. And so she helped me with the kids while I did that. And I stupidly had forgotten to bring the letter. So I did petition for a temporary like emergency no contact order to come into effect immediately. And so Nick had called that day, because I was at work by the time they were like, oh, call a little bit before 4. That's when our office is closed, to get an update. So I gave Nick the information. So he called. The judge hadn't reviewed it yet. So I was like in shambles all weekend, just like stressing, anxious, like, what if she comes and I don't have this protection in place?
And it's so unfair that she like did that to you. Like she put that fear and anxiety into you. It's almost like she knew what she was doing.
Oh yeah. And then Monday comes and I call, and my emergency temporary had been denied. So then they were like, well, I was like, well, I'm really nervous because she's saying she's going to come to my house. Like, this is why I wanted this. And they were like, well, you can come in, like bring more evidence and like your case to the judge for a reconsideration. And they were like, or you can email it in. And I was like, perfect, because I don't want to lug all my fucking kids back to the courthouse,
trying to carry them up that staircase. And
oh my god, yeah, because like, what do people in wheelchairs do?
They have a wheelchair lift.
Oh,
but it's like that's not going to work for a double stroller where the twins are front to back.
Yeah, because we had to like lift the stroller with the girls up these stairs
while having Baker and Lincoln
like down the stairs, and then she's like running back down the stairs to
pick up grab Lincoln. The little ones.
Oh my gosh, it was such a mess. And then she's like walking them up and down the fucking hallway while I'm filling out
piggyback rides and like looking out the window. Oh my god. It was
So I was
fun.
able to email in, and that's when I took all the pictures on my phone and emailed in like a reconsideration to the judge, attaching all of the pictures. She emailed into the
Mm-hmm.
judge of like, hey, this is like really important that this
Yeah.
happens. Like an amazing email. Still got denied.
Yeah.
And so now I just have to wait. We have a court hearing on the 10th. So stay tuned for that update.
Woohoo.
Yay.
I'm very curious to see how that goes down. Because people with tendencies, because I'm assuming she's narcissist, like has
Oh my God.
some sort of,
What gave you that idea?
but she's gonna paint this beautiful picture that she's just a fantastic grandmother that has done no wrong and is going to try and paint you as like the worst fucking parent possible.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
So
be
that's also been
interesting.
happening in my life that has had me just like
Yeah.
not wanting to do anything and like
Yeah.
yeah, but like Nick knows that if she shows up to like somehow get Jesse like in our room or in hit like
Yeah.
somewhere that because our front doors are French windows. Like
Yeah.
you can see out of them. So it's like there's no hiding if she comes to the door.
Yeah. Like
Um,
she'll know that people are home. Like,
yeah. And like Jesse would see her like plain sight. So it's like Nick knows that if she were to show up, get him out of sight and to call the cops
yeah.
and like get her trespass, like something. And then Nick's best friend lives upstairs and he knows because our house, it's one house, but our landlord rents it into two units. He rents
Mm.
the upstairs and he rents the downstairs. Most people just assume that it's one family living there and they always go to the upstairs and
Yeah.
don't go downstairs. So it's like when new people are coming over, we have to tell them. Even when we had to call 911 when I was in labor with Lincoln, we had, like Nick is telling them like you have to go downstairs, and even then Dustin still had to go to the top of the driveway and like show them down to the driveway so they didn't go to his house.
Shout out Dustin.
Yeah, and same when that guy broke into our house a few
Oh,
years ago, I had to
oh
tell
my
the
God, I forgot
911
about
operator
that.
like, hey, when the cops get here, we live downstairs. My in-laws are upstairs, and the cops still went upstairs. And my poor father-in-law is like on the phone with me because I called him, and he's like, you know, in his robe, and the cops at his door. He's like, "That's my daughter. She's downstairs!" Like
Oh
running down, like
God, that was wild. I forgot about that.
yeah. Dustin, Nick's best friend, knows like, do if a crazy lady comes to your door, do not send her downstairs, call the cops,
Yeah,
get her away. So like he's aware of the situation too, which is really nice.
it's crazy the amount of like shit that you're having to go through now because she fucking decided
It's
that
just added so much to my
because she
already
had
like
to have the last fucking word. Like that's all it's because my thought process now that it's been 2 weeks is she never intended on coming over.
yeah.
She just wanted to instill fear and chaos and paranoia, but that like further proves just how toxic she is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But yeah, the letter as a whole pretty much just how terrible of a person I am.
So terrible. I invited her over all the time.
Yeah.
She watches my
And
kids.
lets her help parent her children.
Yeah. Fucking awful.
Yeah, that's been my life.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Man, I'm like on fucking cloud nine over here with my pink eye and laryngitis and shit compared to
Meanwhile,
all
I'm
that.
dealing with like restraining orders and lice.
I'll have to find a clip because I did Marco Shelby like a couple of times while I was dealing with the laryngitis. Like it was
She's
bad.
like, I'm not supposed to be talking right now.
William would ask me to like ask for a pack of Virginia Slims just because it's like that's what my voice sounded like.
Did you ever watch SpongeBob?
Oh, of course I did.
Do you remember that? Like, I don't know what she was, a
Oh, are
sea
you
worm or
talking
something,
about
but she
like
was in
in the
like the
wheelchair?
wheelchair.
Yeah, that's exactly. God damn it, that's exactly what I sounded like. William's laughing because
Can I get more chocolate? Oh God, that's so funny.
It was bad. And I worked at like retail job and I wasn't contagious because laryngitis like was not contagious. It was from my ear infection because shout out American healthcare, I didn't want to go to a doctor's office for something that I knew would just resolve on its own. Well, spoiler alert, didn't resolve on its own. My eardrum ended up bursting, and all of that drainage is what caused the infection in my voice box. So I made a very small problem into a very big problem. But because that wasn't contagious, so I could still go to work.
She was like, I literally can't do the podcast.
I
can't talk.
I could not talk. I'd just be sitting here listening to Shelby the whole time. But I'm like at my retail job.
I'd be talking to myself.
Like trying to, and people would come up and ask me questions, and I'm just like,
should have just carried a whiteboard around.
I should have just been like
all your answers
a little sticker. Hi, I have laryngitis. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
They just needed someone to like restock and shit.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
Oh man,
I'm in the process of getting genetic testing because in order for my insurance to cover a mammogram, which is just fucking insane to me. As a woman, you're told, or it's like society, do monthly breast exams. If you find something funny, go to your doctor. I have a history of breast cancer. My mom has a history of breast cancer. My grandmother has a history of breast cancer. So when I go to my doctor and say, hey, I found something funny, I need a mammogram, you're not old enough. We won't approve a mammogram until you're 40. So what the fuck is the point of doing a monthly breast exam? Like, so in order for my insurance to approve the mammogram because I found something funny, I have to go and do genetic testing to see if there's a weird gene in my family. And no, all they're going to find out is that I'm 1% Jewish. Like, that's that's it. That's because my mom's done.
Oh my god, can I explain Geppetto?
Fine, do it.
Oh my god, I might cry. So funny. Okay, so on Facebook Messenger,
not my brightest moment.
You can change people's names in Facebook Messenger. So in Facebook Messenger, Jess is Jewpedo, Jewpedo. And so the reason behind this is because 2 years ago she did this like ancestry
so
test.
A lot of the background of this is I don't know my dad,
and he was adopted.
So I've been doing a lot of like now genetics testing and like history, so I'm trying to find out more about like my background. So yes, I did this like 23andMe type shit.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, and so she goes, "Oh my god, I am 1% Jewish," and so now we have like this running joke where I'll be like, "You fucking Jew," and I can say that because she's Jewish, and it's funny. Anyways, so also, if you don't know, her husband is younger than her younger brother.
And let's just really emphasize that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
let's put it this way. My brother turned 30 a couple months ago. My husband turns 30 on Tuesday. So they're like, my brother's like 3 months older than my husband, but they love rubbing it in my face that I found someone younger than my younger brother. Yeah. So,
and it's not like she's that much older.
I'm really not.
She's gonna be 32 in a couple of months, but
yeah. We're like 18 months apart.
Yeah, but still, it's funny, and it's a thing. So we called her
justifying the fact that you call me Geppetto.
So then I don't even remember where it came from, but I was like, "Oh my god, you're a pedophile or something because you're like something you robbed with the cradle or something like that because Will's younger." So then I was like, "Oh," I put the two together, and I was like, "You're a Geppetto." So now it's the whole thing. So that's her.
Yeah.
That's her name in my.
Which apparently that's actually like a super relevant thing, and it's like a good thing that I did do this like because
I thought you meant me calling you Geppetto.
No, sorry. I was going down the Jewish tangent.
I was like, is it?
It's important to find out your heritage because even though I'm only 1% Jewish, apparently like that's a big deal in like the genetics community because that can point towards a lot of like cancer strains and things like that of that just like runs in that like specific genetic strain.
Interesting.
Because that was when I had my initial genetics meeting, she had asked me, are you Jewish? And I was like,
what do I say?
I'm like, does 1% count? And she's like, yes, actually it does. And I was like, okay, I don't want to make like a joke of this, but like I am 1% Jewish. And she's like, yeah, that it means something. So like, let me jot that down. And I was like, okay, I just, because I don't want to make it
your whole personality.
Right.
I make it her whole personality.
Yeah, thank you for that. No, I'm trying to. It's not racist. There's like another word that I'm looking for that I can't think of right now because
I can't help you. Words are hard.
Yeah, words are real
When
hard.
You're this tired.
Yeah, I just don't want to like offend people who actually are
full-blown Jews,
full-blown Jewish, and like respect the culture and everything because I know nothing about it. Stereotypical. That was the word I was looking for.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a big word to pull out of my
noggin.
Yep.
Brain.
Yep. I forgot that word.
Time is
That's 8:45. Yeah, okay. we're done. We're done.
Okay.
Yeah. So health things have been going on too. It's been great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so it's been our life.
It's been great, and we will keep you posted on how all of this drama shakes out.
Yeah, we sure will. My court hearing is not till the 10th, so I won't have any updates till after that. But
yeah, so in a couple of episodes. But
yeah, but we're excited to be back.
Mm-hmm.
We've missed it. We've missed each other, to be honest, too. Because like the only time we've seen each other is because of my emergencies.
I guess that's fair. I didn't even think about that because it's like
we only
the court,
see each other for
and then the lights break out, and then
that's it.
And we've just been so sick, so we're gonna fix that. Especially, it's getting sunnier now too, so it'll be so nice.
Yes, it will be nice. I'm so happy for the sunshine.
Yeah, bring all your kids over and throw them all out in the backyard with the new playground.
Yeah,
they would go ham.
Oh my gosh, Baker has been begging every single day. We go play on the playground, Mommy.
Oh.
And it's like 6 a.m.
No, absolutely not.
The other day I had to take him to the doctor, just for like his 3-year wellness checkup. 6 months after he turns 3. Sorry about it.
It happens.
But to go to his doctor's office, we have to drive past a playground.
Oh yeah.
And it was raining.
Because you go to the Cordado one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so it was raining, so I told him that the playground was closed. I was like, we can't, buddy, it's closed because it's raining.
It's like parenting videos and everything that was like, never lie to your children. I would never lie to my children. And then you become a parent and it's like, they're just... My favorite that you guys do is that one show. Well, that show's broken.
Yeah, we just say it doesn't work anymore. It's gone.
It's some weird, crazy...
He loves this show on YouTube called Hudson's Playground. So there's 2.
Oh.
One is Hudson's Playground, and one is like this kid. So it's this kid named Hudson, him and his dad. His dad has like a massive farm or something. I don't know. But it's literally just this kid and sometimes his little sister, Holly. And then it's always his dad too, where they're just like running around on their farm, like jumping on hay bales, or this kid's like driving his like toy tractor thing around, and they'll like take hay, or like one episode is they go camping and they're just playing on a farm doing random things. But then they have another one where they're like playing this game, and it's like a truck that's driving, so Baker calls it Hudson's truck.
That makes sense.
And so, but it got to where it's like we didn't mind him watching it, like whatever. It's a show you like to watch. Like Baker's very transportation obsessed. It doesn't matter if it's a truck, a race car, a helicopter, a boat, like anything that has to do with getting from point A to point B, and he's obsessed. And so we're like, whatever. So it's like, this is right up his alley. But it got to the point where it's like, I want Hudson's truck. So we put on the gaming one, and then it's like, no, I want Hudson's tractor is what he calls Hudson's Playground. He calls it Hudson's tractor.
Oh,
so then we put that on. And it just got to be this like back and forth and back and forth.
Oof.
And then it's like, we're not putting the right one on. He's freaking out and like having a
Yeah.
meltdown. And
It got too much of like a hyper focus.
it was like, yeah, it just got to be such a like an annoying thing that I constantly was. And so I finally was just like, nope, doesn't work anymore.
It broken.
It's broken. We don't have that show anymore. Is like what we like. We don't have it anymore. We don't have it anymore. So when he asked, so he was asking her for it when we were at the courthouse.
Yes, he was.
And I was like, nope, we don't have it. Nope, Jess doesn't have it. Like, just fucking forget about that show. It's been months since we let him watch it.
Yeah.
And he still
brings it up. Yeah. I forgot about that at the courthouse. Because I have like another game that like Kaden plays on my phone. It's like Dr. Panda or whatever. So I like, grab that to give to Baker as like one of the distractions of keeping them occupied. And yeah, he had asked for that. And I was like,
she was like, what do you want? And I was like, no, she doesn't have it. We don't have it. It doesn't work anymore.
Like, cool, Dr. Panda it is. Here you go.
Yeah. But then yesterday, I felt bad because then yesterday it was a nice sunny morning.
Yeah.
And so in the morning he's like, Mommy, we go to the playground. We go to the playground. And I just feel so bad because I love that he wants to go outside and
be
not
active.
Constantly be on his electronics. And, he loves being outside. But it was like I had to work yesterday at 2:30. I was so tired that it's like it's also just takes up so much time. And like Nick had to go to the store yesterday because the girls were running low on diapers. We also needed to, like, there were just things. It's so hard to go to the store when Nick and I work opposite schedules, and it's really hard to take all of the children to the store by yourself. Like, so we have to like be strategic about going to the store. So it's like Nick had to go to the store. By the time he got back, like there wasn't enough time to load all the kids up. And then also like with Baker, he has a really hard time like transitioning from one
activity to
the next. So it's like it's really hard for him to transition from we're at the playground, but now it's time to leave the playground. And it's a very big meltdown that takes a lot of time and energy that it's like I didn't have time to deal with that because we wouldn't have been able to stay long because I would have had to have gone home, gotten ready for work, drove into town to get my Target pick. Like there just wasn't time.
It would have been too much of a process, yeah.
Right. But I felt so bad, so we just went outside and played, which like he was fine with, because he got to ride his bike. He got a bike for his birthday, but his birthday's in October, so like he hasn't gotten to ride his bike.
Yeah, not in this county.
No. So he rode it the day that he got it at his birthday party, just in my in-laws' garage, and that's it. So it's like he got to ride his bike. We did bubbles. We played with the dogs. We did chalk. And so it's like we did go outside and play. But before that, I was like, no, buddy, like we can't go to the playground. He goes, it's raining outside. The playground is wet. I was like,
that's so sad.
It's not raining outside. It's sunny, but we just can't go to the playground. He was just like, but I want to go outside.
At least it should be easier now with like you working at 7, and so it's like you have more time.
Yeah,
versus
but
like
I'm not taking all 4 of the littles to the park by myself while Nick is at work.
Well, yeah, but it's like I could go to the park. I only have one that I'd have to take with.
That's true.
So at that point, we got a
just
3 to 3
Baker
version.
up and take Baker and Caden to the park by yourself. I'll get Lincoln and the girls to nap, and then I'll take a nap.
That would be I'd get some steps in because they would just be like, did you see the fear flash in my eyes? I was like, oh,
you literally were like, getting volunteered for something I'm not so sure.
I don't know if I can handle that. Because
yeah,
Caden's like very much like bing, 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 bing. Like he can't stay in one spot. He's
Have you met Baker?
Right. So the 2 of them, because I doubt they'd stay together. So it would
I don't know. I feel like they would stay together because they both be so excited. Because especially because like they're not playing with toys.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be like fighting. They're just going
and running,
running
crazy stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But also like I'll have the weekends off, so it's like Nick and I can take them on Saturdays or even Sundays because I won't start till 7. So now that the weather's getting nicer, so it's like we will start to be able to go do those things. Just this 2:30 start time was
awful.
just awful to be able to do.
Right in the middle of the day.
Yeah. I mean, that day that we did the courthouse, it was the day before Jesse's birthday.
Russian.
And I hadn't gotten to go like in person birthday shopping for Jesse yet. So it was like Jesse left for school at 8:30 in the morning. I got in the shower, got myself ready, got all 4 of the littles ready, and out the door by 9:35 we were in the car leaving. Went to Barnes and Noble to get Jesse some football books that he had said that he wanted when we went to Barnes and Noble last.
Yep.
And then went to the mall and was there half an hour before they opened. So we enjoyed some Cinnabon. And then I did take Baker to the indoor little playground thing that they have there, which him and Lincoln loved. And then we got our shopping done there and then rushed to the courthouse and then rushed. Baker had been so good. I was like, okay, let's go to McDonald's. I'll get you some French fries. And then rushed home, hurried up and like got changed, got ready, and then like
ran to work.
But it's like because of that 2:30 start time, I've literally had no time to do anything that I want to do. I've just been like, go. Nick and I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time together, and I've had like no time to just relax, like read my book. Like
that's when you know it's serious that she's not taking enough me time, is that she's like not making any progress on her books.
Yeah.
So it's like
I've been reading the same 2 books for a month,
which is insane.
Yeah.
That's like me status right there.
Yeah. For reference, I read 8 books in January and I haven't even finished a book this month.
And I've read 2.
Right. So
hey, to be fair, one of those books was an 850-page book.
It was. You did really good on that book.
It was a struggle, but we made it through.
But it's like even when I have had the time to read, I fall asleep because I'm like today I did sit down to like read. Like Nick had gotten the girls and Lincoln down. Baker was being good in the living room watching a show with Jesse, and Nick was playing Warzone with his brother.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna read. But I was so tired that I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was just so tired. And then later, so it's like it's just been so much happening that I'll like try looking at the calendar to like, when can I pencil in some
when can I pencil in some reading?
Yeah. But it's like there's no, like even this week is just so busy because I have to take the twins have to go to the eye doctor in Kirkland tomorrow, so we have to drive 2 hours to go to their eye appointment, and then we'll get home. I'm watching my in-laws' dogs for the next couple of days because they're going on a trip. So I have to go to their house, let the dogs out, spend some time there. Soccer practice starts tomorrow, so I have to go do soccer practice, and then I have to go to work. Yep. So Tuesday, I don't think we have anything, but then Wednesday, soccer practice. Thursday, Baker has an eye appointment. And then I'm off Friday, Saturday, but Friday I have a hair appointment. So stay tuned for some fresh hair from me. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, we actually have a night out. I'm so excited. Nick's birthday is next week on the 7th. And his brother and his brother's wife got us all tickets to go to a Tom Segura comedy show in Seattle. Nick loves Tom Segura.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we saw that they were coming to town, I was texting my sister-in-law about something. I was like, oh, I had just said like, hey, doesn't Curtis really like this comedian too? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, he's coming to Seattle. Like, it'd be fun if we all went together. And they ended up getting all of us tickets for like his birthday. And then Nick's sister, who has fear of missing out, was like, I want to go too. And
I still can't believe
she has never seen this comedian.
And she is like polar opposite of Nick in terms of humor.
Yeah.
Like
him and his brother are like very same humor, very similar personalities. Whereas like his sister, she doesn't like the like crude, vulgar type stuff. And if you haven't watched Tom Segura, he's
just take a quick Google.
Yeah. Nick sent her a like TikTok of him, and she was like, "Oh God, what did I get myself into?"
She's not gonna.
And then even tonight, she was, because Nick was like, "I can't wait to see how you react," and she's like, "Maybe we'll just bail and not go. I'm kind of regretting getting these tickets."
I'll go.
But yeah, so we're really excited. I was like, just have a few drinks, you'll be fine. And so even tonight, it was so funny. I was like, Lindsay, just have a few drinks at dinner, because we're all going to dinner beforehand. I was like, just have some drinks in you before we go, like get some drinks at dinner. She goes, no, because then I'm gonna be the heckler.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
Oh, I remember was it last year's birthday or was it the
No, because last year's birthday is when we found out that I was pregnant with twins, and I got to come home and be like, happy birthday, there's 2 babies in there.
But it was the birthday before that where Lindsay had a couple drinks in her, and I was like,
it was so funny.
It was literally a side of her I've never seen before.
I love my sister-in-law.
But it's gonna be so nice, like after the month that we've had, like we both get date nights.
Yeah.
Like, we both, because it's funny because William's birthday is
Tuesday,
and then Nick's birthday is Sunday.
So what's funny about that too is last year, so Will's birthday last year, he was turning 29. She threw him like a surprise birthday party at a like roller skating rink.
Yeah.
On my way, because I had a hair appointment to get my hair cut that day, and I was like, I'm just like a week late, and but I was like, I'm sure it's just that, like, because I had just had Lincoln, right? So I was like, I'm sure that like my cycle just hasn't regulated yet.
Yeah.
But like, just for peace of mind, I'm gonna get a pregnancy test. Just for peace of mind. Like, I know it's got to be negative.
Yeah.
Because there's only like one instance where it could have happened, and I was like, this is not possible. There's no way. There's no way. Like, what would the odds be? And so after my hair appointment, I go to Target. I had like done a Target pickup order for a pregnancy test. And so then I like have this pregnancy test in my belt bag the whole birthday party.
Yeah.
And I'm just like waiting for a moment to be able to get away to go to the bathroom, which happens to be at the very end. Like Nick had left. Yeah. I went to the bathroom, and she is the only one who knew. I didn't even tell Nick that I had grabbed.
No idea. Like the whole time I'm also on pins and needles because I'm just like
waiting and
while hosting this surprise birthday party for my husband.
Yeah. So I go to the bathroom. Literally took 30 seconds for it to come up so positive. And I come out of the bathroom.
She doesn't even have to say anything.
And she's like, oh my God. And then our other friend who didn't even know, she goes, oh my God, you're pregnant.
Yeah, we could just see it all on the face.
Yeah, so that was on Will's birthday last year. And then so of course the next day I called, make the appointments that you need to. And they had gotten me in for my first ultrasound like immediately because I called on the 3rd. And then Nick's birthday is the 7th. And so that was the date of my first ultrasound.
5 days apart between their birthdays.
Yeah. And so the 7th is Nick's birthday. So that was my first ultrasound. He didn't go with me because he had to be home with the littles. Well, Baker and Lincoln and Jesse. If you haven't heard of Sneak Peek, it's this like at-home blood test thing you can do to detect the gender. Based off my last cycle, I was at like the 6-week mark to be able to take it. And I have no patience, so I pay the extra money to like have it expedited. Like as soon as you get my test, you're doing the results, and like I'm gonna get them that same day. It's next day shipping, so it's like I mailed it out on a Thursday, they got it the next day.
Yeah, like
so
super quick.
I'm in this ultrasound, literally, have the ultrasound going by myself.
Because she didn't think,
I'm like, I've been to a million of these things, like whatever. Literally get the email with the results of my sneak peek gender test, and it says girl. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Literally, as I'm reading it, the ultrasound tech is like, all right, well, it's still really early, but it's looking like a twin pregnancy. And I'm just like, what? I'm like scream laughing, like like uh, um and so the other thing about this is Nick has always been at every first ultrasound, and at every first ultrasound he's always said, "There's just one in there, right? Ha 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 ha."
So of course the one time he's not there.
There's not just one.
God damn it, Nick.
Yeah, and it's his birthday. And so I'm just like, and like, no. I was like, this is not a funny last April Fool's joke. Like,
Yeah,
we're stop it. Stop. Like, no, you've got to be kidding. She goes, yeah, so like it's still pretty early, but like there are two like, and I was like, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like freaking out. And she's like, well, I'm gonna give you a moment to get dressed and I will be back. And I'm just like shaking.
Oh yeah.
Like going to the bathroom, I'm like getting dressed, I'm shaking, I don't know what to do, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having two girls then because the test came back girls. That means no male DNA was found. Like it is so twin girls.
Twin girls.
And I'm just like, holy shit. So then I'm literally in my car, haven't even left yet.
Yeah.
FaceTime her, and
Carly was here, so Shelby tells me to like find a place that I'm like,
you need to go somewhere where the kids can't hear you.
So I'm like, end up locking myself into my master bathroom. So I'm like sitting, with like the toilet and everything, and I'm all of a sudden
she goes, so what? She's expecting the gender results because she knew like the few people that we told that I was pregnant all knew that I was going to be getting the gender results that day. So she's like, what is it?
Was super stoked of like, because we're all like rooting for girls, so that's like my thing. All she says, twins. I like start screaming. So all William thinks, because William has no idea what's going on, he just hears me screaming in the master bathroom. So he comes pounding on the door. So we open it up, and we're like, I turned the phone, so we're like both looking at him. Twins. It's so bad.
She was just like, same reaction as me. What? So we're both literally just on FaceTime, scream, like laugh, crying, can't breathe. Like, what do we do? I'm like bawling, but like laughing at the same time. And she's just like, what?
Shocked.
You're joking. I'm like, I'm not fucking joking. There's two of them.
Oh yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. So then I like had asked Nick like what he wanted for dinner. I was like, I can go to the store, pick up something for dinner for your birthday. And he was like, oh yeah, like why don't you pick up some steak? So I go to the store. I am like so frantic. I could not stop shaking because like I had so much adrenaline running through me. Mm-hmm. And just like so much, like if you've never been told that you're pregnant with multiples, I don't know how to explain this feeling to you. Like it is wild. And so I'm like panic shopping. And so I'm like, oh, well, like I'll tell him with like a card, the ultrasound picture that has like A and B. And then I'm going to get twin girl outfits to tell him that I think that they're twin girls based off of the.
Too long.
Oh my gosh. I have a video of him. So I like take a picture of him with his presents. And he's like, why are you being so like, we've never done this. I've never been like, let me get a picture of you with your presents first. Yeah. Like, smile. And it's so funny because I have it as a rotating background on my lock screen. It just makes me laugh every time I see it because he's just so happy.
Before he's not. Because what else did you include in that present?
What?
The bottle of whiskey.
No, I didn't include it. I had to get that a couple days later at Costco.
Oh,
because yeah, so like I got two girl outfits, and then I got a card, and then I got like the stuff for dinner. But I also had to pee really bad, so I was like, I need to get in and get out. So I like put the stuff in like a gift bag and get home, and I'm like, tell Jesse to stay out of our room, go to our bed, because like don't tell the kids right after our experience with Allie. We don't tell the kids right away. And so lock us in our room. He's got Lincoln in his little seat Lincoln's 3 months old. Okay. 3 months old. And like, yeah, So he's got Lincoln in his little seat on the bed. He's sitting in the bed. I was like, I need you to open this present. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I got your present. I need you to open it. And he's like, okay. So he like opens up the card. I'm like, okay, I need you to read the card. And I'm like recording him. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? And I'm like, read the card. And it has the ultrasound picture in there. And in the card I wrote, happy birthday, daddy. And I like underlined it. Can't wait to meet you. Love babies A and B. And he's like reading it and he's like,
how much clearer could you be?
Like I underlined we like 3 times.
And babies A and B.
Yeah. So he's reading it and he's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm like trying to hold it together because I'm recording.
The pregnancy
right?
Rage.
But I'm also recording, so I'm like, I have to kind of try to be nice. Like, not say how much of a fucking idiot you are, but like, you're being an idiot. And he's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then he goes, oh, no, I don't get it. Like, tries to like play it off as he gets it, but he actually doesn't get it. So I like go over to him. I'm like, we can't wait to meet you. And he goes, son of a bitch. And then he like looks at Lincoln and he's like, and then he's like, there better be alcohol in this bag. And I'm like, there's not. I wasn't thinking about it. And he like pulls out the 2 girl outfits. And I was like, so the gender test came back as girl, which means no male DNA was found. So I think that they're both girls. And he's just like sheer, like just like
color drains.
Yeah, just like, I'm like, happy birthday. And then I stop recording and literally I stop recording and I drop my phone and I like drop to my knees just laughing. Like, because what else do you do? What else? You're 3 months postpartum. You just found out. I was already trying to wrap my head around Irish twins.
Yeah.
And then I'm told I'm actually having twins and that it's going to be Irish triplets. And I'm just like, what?
You just got to take them as they come.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And then you went and got him.
And so then like the next day or 2 days later, I went to Costco and I got him a Costco sized bottle of whiskey. I came home and I was like, I got your whiskey. There you go. Sorry it's late.
A wild time.
Yeah. So that was how their birthdays were last year.
Memorable.
But yeah, so.
Yeah. It's just funny because I don't know if I've ever told you this, but it was like for the longest time, I would always get like Nick and Will's birthdays mixed up because it's like they're
5 days apart.
And they're both in April. And so it's like, of course, apparently just like all the men that I pick are April babies. I do this thing though where Carly, which is, Nick is her dad. She was born on July 7th. So her dad was born on the 7th. That is how I remember whose birthday's on the 2nd.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny.
And I can't, he better not give me any shit because how many times does he get Dustin and his dad's birthday wrong?
Every year.
Every year. I don't want to hear a damn word about me having to do this to remember your birthday.
That's so funny. But yeah, so this year's birthdays, no crazy pregnancies that we're going to find out about.
Okay. Very low key. We're going to go. We're doing like a date night. Kids are spending the night at grandma's. Yeah. Y'all are going to Seattle doing a fun comedy show.
But like we have so many kids that we have to split them all up. So like
you do.
Baker and Lincoln are going to Nick's mom's house. The twins are going to Nick's dad's house where my sister-in-law's kids will also be. So like the
older ones.
Yeah, she has daughters that are 14 and 12 and then a son who is 9. No, he just turned 8 because he's a grade younger than Carly.
Yeah, there it is.
But yeah, so they'll be helpful with the girls. And then Jesse is staying the night at a friend's house because it's his friend's birthday party. So he's going to go to the birthday party and then stay the night there. So it's like, we got to split them all up because like I'm not doing that to any of my poor in-laws where I'm like, hey, can you watch 5 of my kids and 4 of them are the ages 3 and under? Yeah. 3 of them are the ages 1 and under. So yeah, we split them all up. So they're all staying the night. So we got a hotel for the night. So we don't have to worry about driving back because like it's been 4 years that I haven't been able to go out and like drink. And I'm like not a big drinker, but when it's like you cannot do it.
And you've like gone on trips specifically to like go, like been to Vegas Twice.
Pregnant both times.
Ended up being pregnant both times.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to go have dinner with his siblings, and it's just going to be, and then go see a comedy show, which like I love. I like concert. I do enjoy concerts, but I realized, but when I was pregnant with Lincoln, I went to 3 concerts. Because I went to Luke Combs with Nick. I went to Big and Rich with you.
Oh, that's right.
And then I went to Lizzo when I was 32.
Oh yeah.
What, 34 weeks pregnant? In those, I don't know if it's just because I was pregnant, but it's like I enjoy concerts, but I also like just get so sensory overloaded.
Yeah.
There's so much going on around me. And like when we went to that comedy show last year, I enjoyed being able to I realized I enjoy being able to just sit and relax and have like something, like watching something. So I'm really looking forward to this comedy show. And Nick loves this comedian, so it's like perfect for his birthday. Yeah, he is.
I'm low-key jealous.
Well, you got to see Kevin Hart, so fuck you. I love Kevin Hart, and she got to go see Kevin Hart.
That was a great show.
Yeah, let's just rub it in some more.
So sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I went with a fucking jackass.
I know you did. I've told you lots of times. I don't know why you hung out with him.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. This year's birthdays, no pregnancy announcements.
Fucking better hope not.
I send her TikToks, and I think Nick does too, all the time, of vasectomy fails.
Literally all the time. And it's like I already have like enough health issues that it's like I'm not regular at all. And so then it's like cool.
So she does the whole thing too, where she's like, am I a week late because of
like by some miracle am I pregnant, or it's stress induced, or is it my fucking autoimmune disorder? Like, yeah, so I have a stock of pregnancy tests that I have to do it, because otherwise I'm just gonna get in my head.
Because I had given you one of the tests when I found out I was pregnant with the girls, because she was like, I don't know.
Because I do every month, I go through this fucking process where it's like, okay. And especially now that I've had my birth control taken out, what day is it? Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
she's gonna go take a pregnancy test after we're done recording.
I haven't had my period at all this month. No, that's not true, because I had it when I was sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, crisis averted. I'm fine. Okay.
Because I had mine when I was sick.
Oh, that's right. So then when I started my period when I was sick,
because we're like a week off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were like, haha, fucking, you're sick and on your period too. That does it. Yeah, okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I just feel like the chaos of this month, I like forgot.
It's been the longest month of my life.
For real.
But yeah, so we constantly are like torturing her with vasectomy fail. The ones that are like, apparently a vasectomy just changes the color of your baby.
Oh man, those are great.
Yeah, so anyways, we promise that next time we'll have a more
structured,
well, kind of as structured as you can get with us.
Yeah. I don't know why I make false promises.
Yeah. We try put 2 ADHD people in front of a camera together. One diagnosed, one undiagnosed. Hey. But we're back. We're excited to be back. We're happy to be back. We've missed doing this, and again, like we said, missed each other.
Yeah.
I know Williams missed me being in his home too and listening to me talk. I think all we've got for now.
And stay tuned for more life updates.
Yeah, more madness and conversations. Again, follow us on all the things. If you have any requests, let us know. We will see y'all next week. We promise.
Yeah, we won't abandon you for 3 weeks again.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.